Hey there, this is David with the side, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston IT and software job market update. I call this the COVID edition. As I'm recording this, it is June 22nd. There's some good news, there's some not so good news. The good news is going to be about IT and software still a very good place to be. Lots of jobs out there, lots of people working out there. Bad news. Locally, we've been reading about case counts going up. We will see what happens there. I'm going to stay in my lane and just talk about the Houston IT and software job market scene, though. So let's jump right in and talk about jobs that have been posted in Houston. And something that we do internally here at the site, just for the market intelligence, is track what are all the jobs that are being posted out there on Monster, Dice. We stick to job boards. And Monster, Dice, LinkedIn, ZipRecruiter, just to name a few. If it's some company's individual site, we're not necessarily grabbing that. We don't get everything, but we definitely get a good representation. And January, February, these are numbers that we typically expect. Early part of January, just not a lot of activity. People still getting back from their holiday break and not quite ready to pull the trigger on trying to bring in new people. But once we get into late January, February, 1,100, 1,200 jobs posted a week. Yeah, that's about right. We like that. That's a good number. Usually come March, April, the expectation is that you're going to see 1,400 jobs posted a week. And clearly here in the first couple of weeks of March, you did not quite see that. Not significantly below that, but let's put ourselves back into how we were looking at things at the beginning of March. We started hearing about this virus creeping into the Pacific Northwest. We were uncertain about how it's going to spread. Depending on what news reports you heard, it was going to be very bad or it was going to be gone. Regardless, this is what the numbers is. It should come, and it's reflected here. The worst week we saw was 342 jobs posted in a week, and that in a normal period, a normal April, that would have a 1 in front of it. That would have been normal. So you can see there's just not a lot of activity going on out there. But we are slightly creeping back up. We've gone from the 300s to the 400s to the 500s, and the most recent week, 609 jobs posted in Houston IT scene. So there we go. Best number in a few weeks. We like that. And we want this number to be higher. We want this number to get back to 1,400 jobs posted a week. You want to be working in an industry where there's companies are hiring people. This is a good thing. You want to be in that growth phase. We will be again, but not quite there yet. It'll get there. So let's talk about job losses. And I want to start off talking about job losses on a national level. And if you watch the news in the morning, every first Friday of every month, you see the news bit about the jobs report coming out. This is the data from there. This comes from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. February, we gained 273,000 jobs. Yay, we like that. Always like a positive number there. March, no one was expecting a positive number there. We were wondering exactly how bad it was going to be. 700,000. March was kind of funny because this data is dependent upon statistical sampling that they do throughout the month. And so people that they were talking to in early March, well, it still may have looked good, and people that they're talking to did not. So 700,000 probably is greater than that, but they definitely caught up in April with the 20 million job losses. May, we started the rebound. We like the fact that we've gained 2.5 million, technically the greatest new single job increase in a single month, which is good, but I'd rather not have it be preceded by the biggest single job loss in a month, which was there by a factor of 8. Overall, since the COVID crisis started, we were down 18.7 million jobs. So there's a lot of things that need to be reversed in this. Won't happen in a month. And when we dig into that 18.7 million and look at what people were in February, where they are now, these are the biggest areas of job losses. Local government, over 1 million job losses. State government, 446,000 job losses. Add those up, we're over 1.5 million. Hotels, go figure, almost a million. Amusements and gambling, tightly coupled with the hotels, 827,000. Temp help, The gig economy, 732,000 job losses. And somewhere buried within that is included contract programmers, contract people for doing network engineer, help desk. Um, really, how much of that is included in that, we're not going to find out for months until we get some details from the BLS about that. But yeah, they could be classified as full-time or temp. Hard to really say, but we do know that the people working in IT on a temporary basis have been included in that. Clothing, accessory stores, personal laundry services, maids, educational services, other big categories of job losses. And just these few categories make up almost a third of all the job losses that we've had since COVID. But we didn't come in here to talk about hotels and how many jobs that they lost. We're talking about IT and software people, so and how the jobs are with that. So we'll just dig into that a little bit. Go back in time. May of 2019, 5.3 million people worked in IT and software in the United States. And once again, this is data from the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics. February, that number had gone up to 5.6 million. That's a 346,000 346,000 jobs gained in less than a year. We like that. Once again, going back to, you want lots of jobs out there. You want more people hiring in your industry. It's good for you. It's good for all of us. March, it went down, but not by much, 19,000. In April, it went back up, and it went back up by 82,000. And when we look at May, it went up by 28,000. And we have actually got more people working in IT and software in May than we did in February, by 91,000 jobs. So what happened to a lot of these people? And when we're looking at the job losses, because there are people who have been let go. How do we explain this? Temporary help, or not temporary help, but help desk, telecommunications, infrastructure have definitely seen a lot of increases. A lot of people trying to get remote workers going up accounts for a lot of that. A lot of people who are on a contract basis, they got let go, and that's where we're seeing some transition here. But overall, this is a good place to be. Let's talk unemployment rate for a little bit. And the national unemployment rate, 3.5% back in February. Yay, we like that. Very good. In fact, to put that in comparison, starting in May 2018 through this last February, during that 22-month period, only 2 months had an unemployment rate of over 4%. That is a very long period of having an unemployment rate of under 4. We like that. May, national unemployment rate, 13.3%. That's where it is for the country as a whole. And let's start looking at how the IT and software unemployment rate is compared to that. February 2020 was 2.4%. Now, thing to keep in mind here is that the unemployment rate for IT and software people is always going to be 1.1 to 1.8 or 1.8 points lower than the national. Get back to the BLS. This is a lot of statistical sampling where they get their data, so that 0.7 variance it comes in there, but it's always going to be lower, always has been lower. In May of 2020, the unemployment rate was 3.7%. Of every single category that the BLS tracks, this was the lowest unemployment rate. And just to show a few other categories and how it compares, food prep, the highest at 36%, over a third of the people there are unemployed. Financial operations, legal, some other areas that require additional education, 4.9, 5.4%. Those are very low compared to all the others. And a couple of areas in the middle, healthcare and administrative, you see what their rates are, very close to what the national unemployment rate is. So wrapping up some of this data. In IT, a lot less people have been let go than in other industries. A lot of the ones that have been let go have been contractors. We have not seen a lot of software developers, network engineers, help desk people being let go. In fact, we've been seeing roles for some of these types of individuals. If there was one area that's been hit hard, it's just been the managers. I can only anecdotally talk about that. But where the rubber meets the road, companies have said, let's keep those people. If your managers can tend to be less rubber meets the road, and so, upper management is saying we can track that ourselves. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But we have seen a lot more managers sending their resumes to us than technical people. IT, regardless, IT and software is still a good place to be. With all this going on, if your unemployment rate for your industry that you're working in is still 3.7%, it's going to get better. And one thing of note with all this, digital transformations, if you're out there and you're staying on top of these things, finding out where the work is going to be, all the reports from Bain, McKinsey, Gartner, all these places, they're all talking about companies need to digitally transform. The companies that have been hurt the less during the COVID crisis are the ones who've invested in digital transformation. You need to invest in digital transformation is the mantra that we're hearing from all the big consulting and all the management that's out there. So there's going to be heavy investment in that coming up. And what do we mean by digital transformation? DevOps, Agile, IoT, automation, last mile automation, and anything involving on getting the company less paper, more communication, more data transfer from one thing to other, more data collection, business intelligence, all of that. Good places to be. That's where the jobs are going to be. Change your resumes to reflect a background with digital transformation, and you'll be okay. So that is a little bit about where the job is. If you want some more information about that, so want to find us, go to DecideConsulting.com, shoot us an email at info@DecideConsulting.com. That'll get to us. If you want some more data or want to know how we got this and more, the actual raw data itself from the BLS, we can provide that to you. Hope you guys have a good day and talk to you again soon. Thanks. Bye.